Hey Rifters, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend. Hopefully, I have by the time this comes out, I have my social media, my Facebook and Instagram out, back online. If I don't, follow me on TikTok at Keith
From Hollywood,
Reza.
California, welcome to Reza Riffs with your host, Keith Reza.
Excellent. Well, hey guys, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, review. We got a great show. The great Kendrick Green is here over Zoom. Kendrick, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Of course, thank you. This is going to be my first interview since the whole Zoom update thing. Like, there's all these new features, and I don't know how to fucking do any of it.
No, you
So,
know what? I saw that my computer updated. I didn't even know to expect it. I don't know what's going to happen then. It's just a
yeah.
new adventure.
So I'm just like, I hope this works. I don't know.
Here we go.
Yeah. But this is also a very special interview because I got a tattoo a couple days ago, right?
Oh,
And
really?
my tattoo artist was like, because like not to brag, Kendrick, but I'm also famous as well. And she's like, hey, who do you got coming up on the podcast? And I was like, oh, Kendrick Green from The Walking Dead. And she's like, I love The Walking Dead. I was like, really?
Oh,
Like she was like really like crazy for this thing, and I was like, oh, that's cool. She's like, hey, I'll give you a free tattoo if you sponsor it because I love Kendrick Green. So I got a free tattoo over this, right?
wow.
Yeah. So, and she said if you're ever in Huntington Beach, California, she'll hook you up. And I was like, I think he lives on the other side of the world. Like, but I'm doing what I can to, I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, we're good friends. So I'll get him to come down and get that free tattoo. Anyways,
Well, I love it. Hey, look, if I'm not currently in the market for a tattoo, but if I am, I'll look her up.
all right, cool. So I'm gonna tell the rifters, the listeners, if you're in Huntington Beach, you can get 10% off if you spend over $100 on a tattoo from Sarah Discordia. You could text her at 503-484-6619, and she does snakes, skulls, roses, basically all the tattoos about death. She got you covered. You should go check her out. All right, back to the show. Kendra Green, how
Nice.
are you?
I'm good, man. I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, this is going to be great, man. I'm very excited because I was doing some research about you and I found out that you and I had the same dream while we were growing up, and that was to be basketball players.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. What position did you play?
I played the what was the fat position? The guy,
The fat position.
the center, right? I guess I
Oh,
was
well,
this.
yeah, center, power forward, yep.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I was the center, and I was like the third string center. I was like Greg Ostertag or whatever. Like
Hey.
they just put me in when I'm guarding a guy who's like buff and stuff. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
But what position were you?
Oh man, let's see. Usually I also play the fat position.
Oh yeah, the
You
fat
know,
position.
I played center. I mean, obviously when you're a kid, right? It's like, if you're tall, it's like, well, get under the basket.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played anywhere from center, power forward, small forward, the 3, 4, the 5, if familiar with that.
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar.
Yeah.
So, when did you realize NBA was not in your circle and you wanted to do acting? Like, because that's like a huge dream that I think every boy has is to be
Oh
in the
man.
NBA.
You know what? It's a great question. Because I really did. I really believed it. In hindsight, I'll say for sure that I realize now it's like the skill and the work ethic that it would have taken to get to that level. I had no idea at the time. But I played from third grade all the way until junior year of high school is when I quit. And it was what I told my parents and really what I told myself was that I just want to be a normal kid. I'm tired of getting to school at 6 a.m. and have zero period practice and then have to show up after and do summer league and all of that stuff. But what really happened was I I naturally was good and I was tall. And so it
Yeah.
was all the game came relatively easy for me. And then around that time, I wasn't the tallest, I wasn't necessarily the fastest, not the most skilled. And now, mind you, I was on JV 10th grade, got MVP, all of that. And but suddenly it was a challenge. I was having to compete for a starting spot and everything, and I just wasn't ready for that
Did you
that
show
type
him
of
your
adversity.
MVP? Did you be like, "Hey, I should automatically start. I have an
Yeah, like,
MVP."
hello. Yeah, right. But I realized that and it kind of the fact that I had to like really work and dig in to it, the fun was lost for a while. And I let that kind of bring me all the way to quitting.
Yeah.
And and I didn't, I was sad about it. I remember telling my parents and my parents, they were very supportive, but they didn't want me to quit. But I was, I'd kind of made up my mind. And I moved on, which, I realize in hindsight it was like, God had another plan for my life. But at the time it was really tough.
Yeah. I mean, I gave up the dream when I was 34. You know what I mean? I was like, it's
Right,
not,
right.
it's not gonna happen now.
Did you have a
But
retirement ceremony?
yeah, yeah. But no, but like my family was like very it was weird because like you know how like parents are like they're supposed to support their kids' dreams and stuff, but my family like my dream of being a basketball player was so unrealistic they didn't support it at all. They
Oh,
yeah, my dad was like, "Keith, there's two things wrong with this dream." And he called me Keith because that's my name. Uh he, like he's like, "Keith, thing number one, you're white. There's only like 1% of white people who make the NBA." So I googled it, and that's true, right?
no,
And then
you Google it.
and then he said Keith because that's my name. He said the second thing that's wrong with it is if you do make the NBA, you could play for the Warriors.
Oh.
And I was like, and back then the Warriors sucked, you know. So I was like, all right, I don't want to be in the NBA.
Right. Well, look, some would say that that's your dad is just he just cut it to you straight.
Yeah, just cut it to me straight.
Yeah.
You know? And then when I told him I wanted to be a comedian actor, he was like, Keith, we gotta have chats, you know. Because acting is probably harder than basketball if you think about it, because there's so many shows and there's so much, different vibes of acting that some I know people who are successful in acting, but they have no money. You know what I mean? And vice versa. So it's kind of like one of those, they don't teach you these things in school about the past that you're going into.
No, no, they don't. They don't, but it's funny. I would think I don't know. I feel like NBA players might have a different opinion about what's harder to get to,
Right.
but it's yeah, that's interesting. It is because yeah, acting and just statistically speaking, no one should make a career out of this.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of this weird, I don't know, it's sort of amoeba of a thing. Like, how do you approach it? There's not like one way to go about it to kind of have career progression or anything. You just kind of have to hope and pray that things work out, according to your dream. But yeah, it is, I don't know. I went from basketball to acting, so clearly I don't like easy paths.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that makes you so remarkable because you're still with it, and then you got on a huge show, and now you have a new movie coming out, Sarah's Oil, which you're the star. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
like
thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, that was I don't know. I'm amazed when I sit back and think about it. Like honestly, it's not something, you hope that things work out, but it's so broad. You don't know exactly how things will kind of unfold. But I've been ever since I quit basketball and like I did my first play before I graduated high school and just kind of going the theater route and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I was a shy kid growing up. So when I told my family like I think I want to try being an actor, they were like, "What?" They were more shocked about that than me quitting basketball. And it but I don't know, it just kind of was just kind of laid on me like, yeah, I think I want to try this. I think I'll like it. And then I met my wife doing a play, and that was kind of my introduction to like the television and film side. I always make this joke that one of her checks from TV might have been the amount that I made my whole theater career. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
and I got to which listen, it wasn't a ton of money. It
Right.
was just like, wait a minute, this is from one episode, so that really kind of made me refocus my aim with my acting career. And it's I gotta give glory to God with what's been going on, The Walking Dead, Sarah's Oil, all of the stuff, coming together with my wife at the time that we did. Like I couldn't have planned it better. It really worked out.
Yeah. Well, we should talk about Sarah's oil for a little bit because this is the thing that you're you're really passionate about. This is the thing that's gonna
Yes.
come out and people are gonna see and they're gonna be like, hey, Kendrick Green is now a movie star, not just a show star. So like it's like, you know what I mean? You're like gonna be all the way up there, you know what I mean? So like how did you like audition for this because your wife is also in this? And like how is that like because I don't think on The Walking Dead you ever cross paths with your wife.
No, no, we don't. It's funny. We've done, gosh, Sarah's Oil might be the fourth or fifth project we've been a part of together, but it was the first one where we really got to interact
Yeah,
with one another and as husband and wife, which is really cool. I we met, let's see, Saniqua and I, we moved to the same agency and we had a meeting with Andy Irwin, one of the producers of Sarah's Oil. And it was just a general meeting to get to know each other. We both God is kind of important in all of our lives. And so we're like, oh, we should meet and see maybe we could work together one day. And Andy texts us both and says like, "Hey, I'm producing this film, take a look at it, see if it's something that you guys think is worth your time."
yeah.
And meanwhile, we're like, "Worth our time? Like, what do we'd love to, do anything that you have because he's such a great film."
Everything's worth our time right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it's like we're actors, we're like, "Hey, what's the script? What's the part?" And so we read the story and it just blew us away. It blew me away. One, that this was like real American history,
Yeah,
right? A rector, little black girl strikes oil and becomes the youngest black millionaire in the history of the country, I believe. And it was like, whoa, like these are the types of things that we want to bring to life. So I got, which isn't common, but I got about 5 or 6 days to really sit with the role before I had to go in and audition.
yeah,
And so I got to really take my time and get to know it because it's a totally unfamiliar world, right? We're talking about Oklahoma 1914.
right.
So everything is, brand new for me. And even trying to research that time in history was like, you really have to kind of become a detective. Um, and yeah, and so went in, auditioned the old-fashioned way, took a little time, but eventually I heard the news that it was mine. She got her role before I got mine. And
Oh
so
my
it's
God, were
like I
you
was
were you
excited. I
jealous
was
of her?
excited for her. No, you know what? It's funny. People ask that a lot, especially being a two-actor family. And it really, the jealousy thing, we're always saw ourselves as a unit,
Yeah,
it's like her success is mine, mine is hers, and it's like it's us in this industry together. So whether she gets something, I get something, it's for us, for our family. And so there wasn't jealousy. I was excited that at least one of us was like, yes, at least one of us gets to be a part of this. And then maybe, I don't know, a week later, I heard about my role and I was like, yes, we're in it together. Like it was amazing, amazing moment.
you're gonna have to give me some tips on not on how not to get jealous because I don't mean to start a debate, but I 100% disagree with this because
Really?
I'm a jealous person. Like I'll give you an example, Kendrick. My sister, she's like Instagram famous because she has a book club that she reads books and stuff, and everyone knows her from that. When
Uh-huh.
vice versa, I'm famous because I'm the world's best stand-up comedian, best podcaster in the world. But you could Google me, it'll say that. But she makes like 20 times more money than me. So I'm jealous because I'm like, all you do is read books and I have to suffer. You know what I mean?
I have to suffer. That's funny.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, oh, like I wish I could just read books, you know?
Right. Well, listen, I mean, you could read books, just for what it's worth, you know.
I could, but I have a learning disability, so like when I read, I can't imagine the story. Like it just comes like I could read a book really fast, but I
Uh-huh.
can't imagine the stories. But like if I read a script, that's different because it's in script format and they kind of I mean you've seen scripts like actions are 3 sentences max. So you
Right, right,
kind of have
right.
to get that idea where a book and action could be like 3 pages, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
yeah. So
Uh, you, I'll say, I'll say to that now. granted, my wife is not my sister,
Right,
so
right. Yeah. Okay, that's two different things. I
yeah,
understand.
thank God it's two different things. For one, it's like you and your sister, while your family, maybe not necessarily a unit. I mean, you could be, you could join forces in a way if you could, but
I've
I,
asked that. She said no.
oh well,
Yeah,
we'll talk to her later.
yeah.
But yeah, that's that's funny. But yeah, I read something one time that about jealousy, that it really is just a marker of showing what you want in your life.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes people don't know what they want, right? So when a jealous moment comes up, then it's like, oh, this is an indicator of something I want for my life. It doesn't mean that I don't want that person to have it, but I want this too. So how do I take the steps to get it? And then suddenly the thing you might feel jealous about is actually can be helpful when it's framed the right way.
I like that. Speaking of things you want, Kendrick, this is a good time to mention if you want a tattoo, you I have a sponsor for this one. I have to.
Oh, got it.
If you want a tattoo, you could text Sarah at 503-484-6619. 10% off if you get a tattoo over $100 just by listening to Reza Riffs with Kendrick Green. All right. Excellent.
All right.
Yeah.
We can put it in there.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Every sponsor I've ever had on the show, I've always fucked it up. And
Oh, really?
oh yeah, it's like it's because I think like it's kind of like, this is a comedy podcast where like the
Yeah.
goal is to make people laugh. It's not to sell businesses. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
So is
And
that where the pressure really hits is when you're like, oh, I got to say this the right way, or, they're going to
yeah.
call the wrong number or ask for the wrong person.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she already gave me the tattoo, so what is she gonna do? Untake my tattoo? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So she's getting publicity on this. It's
Yeah.
just not. It's just
You should just
whatever.
be grateful, right? Who
Yeah, I'd be
cares? Yeah.
grateful. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you about The Walking Dead real fast because I think a lot of people, I actually don't even know this to be perfectly honest with you, and I'm in the business. But what's the difference between a series regular and a recurring character? Because you've never been a series regular, it always says you're recurring. You know.
That's right. That's right. So, like, series regular means that you have a certain amount of episodes that you'll be a part of. You're essentially a part of like the core cast,
Right.
for the course of a season or 6 seasons, whatever the contract says. A recurring character is just simply showing up in more than one episode. So that could mean 2 episodes over the course of a season. It could mean 2 episodes over the course of 6 seasons. So it's a lot more fluid, a lot more open. And I ended up on about 5 seasons of The Walking Dead, but when I first got the role of Scott, it was only for the first 2 episodes, or the first and third episode of season 6. So
Oh,
that's how it started, and then it kind of just went from there.
do you think that fans kind of helped you a little because like they'd write in, they'd be like, "We want more Scott" or something?
I hope so. I'm amazed at how just big that show got. It was already a monster by the time I came on board, but even now it's like I had this funny experience where I'm on the show that everybody's watching, and people are like, "Oh, Scott, Kenric, I want to take a selfie, or I want to actually pay for your autograph or something." But then when I'm looking for another role, I'm reading for like cop number 3, like freeze, and then they're like, sorry, no thanks. And I'm like, oh, wait, am I doing this or not? I don't know. I don't know if it's going well or not. Like it's, but it's, I have to think like the fans are everything, especially for that show. They're committed. Are, they are loyal. There's some of the best fans in the world. And
Wh-
so I'm grateful for anyone who wrote in talking about we love Scott, we love Kenrick. Let's get more of them in there.
Whenever I go to an audition and it has those like, "Hey, you're reading for cop number threes" or whatever, I've never nailed any audition I've ever gotten. By the way, Kendrick, you're talking to the worst actor in history. And so like I'd get a script and it'd be like cop number 3, right? I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna change it to Keith." Like
Right.
they'd be like, "Why?" I'm like, "I think cop number three needs a name." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saying like,
Gotta have a name.
you
Right.
got yeah. So like that's what you should do is be like, "I'm just going to change it to Scott," and then after you do your audition, be like, "I was in The Walking Dead."
Yeah. Hello.
You
Yeah.
get the part just like that, you know, because
Yeah.
they'd be like,
You want an
"Holy shit!"
autograph? Yeah. Exactly. You want to take a selfie? Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of selling autographs and selfies, that's like a Comic Con thing. Have you done a lot of Comic Cons?
Yeah, I've done a few over the years. It's an amazing experience because you get to like engage with fans of a show in a way that you just couldn't before.
Yeah,
And and some fans, you get some of everything. You get critical fans who just don't like how something goes or they don't like something about what you did. And then you get people who are just like excited to meet you and shake your hand. And you get, I've met some people during those conventions where they even have like it's a whole family event, and it's like some people save up money to go on a cruise or a vacation somewhere for a year, and then other people they save up all of their money to
for
come
the
to these
cons.
conventions to meet their favorite characters. And so it's like, man, it's a gift to be able to engage with people and be able to provide I don't know, an experience like that or be a part of it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done those, and I always have to share this because it's one of the things that I never anticipated when I decided to be an actor, but I'm so grateful for it. Is that there was there's a lot of stories like this, but I got to meet a guy in Chicago, and he was just kind of coming up to my table, and he was just chatting, talking, and everything. And we had a good conversation, and over the course of it, I learned that he was a recovering addict. This is a
Oh my
young guy,
God. Yeah.
23,
Yeah.
recovering addict, and he attributed The Walking Dead to his survival through rehab
Yeah.
because he said that that show got him through it, and he thanked me for that. And I was like, wow, like what? Like that is, to say or have someone tell you like that they feel like you're a part of saving their life.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I can't think of a a more kind of massive thing to say like, oh wow, I was a part of that, and so cons give an opportunity for things like that to take place, and so I'm always grateful when I get to do them.
Yeah, that's a very sweet story, and I don't mean to make fun of the guy, but how long was The Walking Dead on? Like it has like 13 seasons, right?
Yeah, it went that version went
Yeah.
11 seasons because there's spin-offs now. So now I'm like, what? But yeah. That it was like 11 seasons,
So you have to wonder how long was this guy in rehab for, you know?
right? You do.
I,
He's
but
out
no,
now. That's what's good now. He's out now.
but no, I love Comic Cons like because like what I like to do is I like to go and I like to interview people and the celebrities. If you're ever in Orange County, when you get your free tattoo from Sarah 503-484-6619, and you do the Comic Con in Orange County, I can interview. But what I do is I interview people and I like make little jokes and stuff. I think it's the funnest thing in the world because everyone is so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like I could be like, hey Kendrick, remember when you were in The Walking Dead? And you'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, remember when that guy went to rehab? And yeah,
Remember when I went to rehab? Oh my
uh,
gosh. This is great.
dang it. I wanted to ask you as an actor though, like, what is like your biggest fear? Like when you get a job or when you go for an audition, because I think all artists have fear too. I mean, I don't think we live in a world where everyone's like not fearless. I think fear covers everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah, we all have to deal with it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Man, let's see. Gosh, well, I could share like fears over the years, because like starting off, you get out of school and everything, and my big fear was like, did I make the wrong decision? Like, am I even, like, can I do this at all?
Yeah.
And honestly, that's kind of the reoccurring fear. Like even with every job now, even with Sarah's Oil, you get the call. There's this experience as an actor, you find out you book the role, and that's such a like, that's such an emotional high to be like, oh, like I got it, like I got a job, I got to work, and then right on the heels of that is like, oh, now I have to do the job.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually have to deliver on this. And it's so there's always that fear of like, can I do this? Like, did
yeah,
they make a mistake? Maybe I shouldn't have submitted for this. Like, oh man, I got to get to work. Wait, can I work? Do I know how to do this? Maybe I shouldn't. And so there's a kind of like that goes that kind of replays with every job I book where I'm like, oh, now I have to deliver. And if I don't deliver, somebody's gonna fire me and I'll never work again.
yeah.
So
I think yeah, like one of my biggest fears is because like this happened like I don't know 13, 14 years ago because back then I was a cute young blonde guy, you know what I mean? So like I was getting all these auditions, and I gotta be honest with you, this is the furthest I've ever gone in an audition process besides like getting handed a stupid role in a movie just to die. You know what I mean? Like this is like this was like a legit thing. Like if I would have got this, it would have changed my career.
yeah.
And it was between me and like four other people. You know what I mean? Like we were down in the wire. So they had to do this thing called a screen test, right? I don't know why I did it like Dr. Evil. I apologize. But
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
so we had to do the screen test, right? And I played the love interest, or I was auditioning for the love interest. And
Mhm.
this is a big actress, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say her name, but I don't know if you've ever seen this movie called Freaky Friday or
Oh.
Mean Girl, stuff like that. You know,
Mhm.
redheaded girl, big, big celebrity, you know what I mean? Kind of disappeared
Where? I don't
now.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say her name, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay. So I screen tested with her, right? And
Yeah.
I had to kiss her part of the thing, right? And
Yeah.
I did it and whatever, it was all right. And then she had to kiss like all the other guys, and then I didn't get the role, and I thought that was my biggest fear. I was such a bad kisser.
Oh. Oh no.
You know what I mean? Because now I have a hot shot celebrity all over the world telling everyone, like it was my fear. You know what I mean?
Oh God. Yeah, right. It's like, no, that guy Keith, he can't kiss for nothing. Don't cast him. Yes.
Exactly. That's what I think I didn't get the part. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
But uh, but yeah. And then I
Well,
wanted
is it
to
bad to say that you just got to keep kissing people till you find the right the right job?
well see like those auditions are so weird because you don't want a full grown make out, right? Because that's also inappropriate. But
Yeah.
there's a also when you're a young actor they don't teach you this, and I think that this is kind of relevant to the conversation. There's a way to kiss people on screen, like there's an art to it that they actually have people who train you to do it. And also with
Mhm.
fight scenes, like it's not like you're just fighting someone. There's a lot of like hours into it to get those shots so everyone's safe and comfortable. And i
Right.
think i think when you're a young actor people don't explain that to you. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and honestly, that's changed over the years. I haven't really had to kiss. I don't think I've had like I don't know. If I've had an on-screen kiss, it's very, very like very minor. But it's kind of changed over the years. Now you have intimacy coordinators and all of that,
But
but
yeah.
it is. I mean, but honestly, it depends on the actors and the whatever project you're part of. Because some people there is a way, and it's very just like professional and like, hey, this is make believe. And then other people are like, hey, I want to go for it. And if everybody's on the same page, then they go for it. And it's not. I'm not a big fan of that because it's
Right.
necessary. It's like we're telling a story. We're not trying to
Yeah, yeah.
find loopholes into other things.
But keep in mind, I was a kid when this happened, so I did not think that at all. You know what I
No, no,
mean? So
no.
like now I'm like, or whatever, I'm over it. You know what I mean? It's professional. But when you're a kid, you're like, holy Lord, I got to hook up with a girl from Mean Girls. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
it's
right,
not
right.
like it's I
Did
don't know
you
what
did you
why.
go for it? Did you go for it?
I think I did, and I think that she didn't, and I think that's why it was like, oh, I didn't get the. It's also weird because like, we'll move on. But I'm just saying, like, it's weird. You got to do that stuff with people you trust and stuff, and that's when you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think
But
that's an odd part of the business in general is like a screen test and you have to kiss. Especially it's like, for she who will not be named.
right,
Um, she has to just sit there and just kiss four dudes, and it's like what are you
yeah.
looking at? it's
To
anyway.
be fair, she got $20 million.
Right.
Like, let's not make her the whole
All right.
victim of this thing. I'm the.
Right, right.
Come
He's not
on,
the
man.
victim. You're right. You're right. 5 million per, like, where do you sign up, right?
Yeah. But I wanted to also ask you about Sarah's oil. The last question about that is like, so when you're filming it, and you're like filming it, and then you're doing different takes compared to like a TV show, how many different takes on a movie do you do compared to a TV show?
Oh, well, it's I'll just say that I'll say it like this. Movies have the luxury most times to move a little slower than TV does.
Okay.
With TV, you got to do multiple episodes. You've got a lot of people, and it's a broader story, right? Just because what 13 episodes over the course of 6 months or something, and a movie, it's like we had about 8 weeks to shoot the movie, and so we had time, and our director Cyrus Narasta, he's a writer director, but he was incredibly collaborative. And so we would, some stuff we would have to kind of find in the midst of it as we're shooting, setting up cameras, and we're talking about what we want to do, what we want to achieve, what are the kind of things that we want to make sure we capture in a scene. So it was a lot more room to breathe, and a lot more like conversation on the day, where TV, you rarely get that opportunity
Yeah.
to really kind of collaborate and build it. You kind of have to come in ready because you don't have the luxury of time as much. So
Do you ever work with people where like, because when you're working with someone, there's a trust. I mean, kind of same like interview, like there's a trust with you and me, like we're bouncing back and forth. But have you ever worked with someone where like they didn't even give you that trust back and you had to change your entire method?
yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a trust that should be there.
Right.
And when all things are going well, it is there. But unfortunately, there are times where it's not, and that's where conflict can arise. Me, I like to think of myself as an adaptable person.
Right.
And it's like the way I approach anything, it's like the story's the star. Like, I'm here to serve the story. I'm not here to try to increase my status, or bring about more fame, or try to do anything, in the way of self-serving. I'm here to serve the story and whatever, because I like to be a part of things that I believe in the story in the first place. It's hard for me to get on board if I'm not into the story, or what's kind of being communicated through it. Then usually I don't want to get involved. So because of that, when I come in contact with people who are more self-serving, or just kind of like, you know, just out for themselves and not so much looking after me or the other actors around, then I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I got to keep myself safe and make sure that I'm not getting compromised in some type of way. But I'm
Right.
also like, hey, you know what? If you want to be that way, you want to be the person, you want to, approach it that way, I'm not going to stop you, because I'm not here to police you.
Yeah.
How you want to conduct your business, conduct your life. I'm not going to stop you, unless unless it comes to harming other people that I care about. Then that's where I would feel like I have to intervene. But I've never had to do that.
Oh
It's not.
my God. You're such a sweet guy, Ken, right? Because here's what I would do if that was happening to me, right? I'd be like, oh, you be all you could be. You be the best actor you could be. Oh, Jeremy Piven, you do that, right? And I'd take out my phone, right? And I'd be like, I'm just going to text the writer and have him turn you into a zombie. And I ask if I could kill you.
Right, right.
That's what I would do. You know
I
what I
see.
mean?
So you're gonna like take them out, huh?
Just take
Sometimes.
him out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's called a compliment sandwich. You just take them out with the compliment and then kill them with the sandwich. You know what I
I'm gonna make sure not to do it. I'm not gonna misstep in this podcast, Keith, at all. Don't take me out.
mean? All right, so I got three more questions for you because I want to respect your time. But these aren't really about acting; these are about you. So, this is like getting into your deeper psychology or whatever.
Oh
Uh,
boy. Okay.
yeah, I wanted to ask you, Kenric, if you were a Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavor, what would you be and what would you call yourself?
Oh man, what a question. Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavor, what would it be and what would I call myself? I This is funny. It's hard not to answer this question and be embarrassed by the answer, no matter what you say.
Uh,
Let's see. Okay. I don't want to just sit here dead air while you're watching me think about my ice cream flavor. Okay, I'm gonna break this down out loud. So I love a little bit of texture in my ice cream. I love chocolate and caramel, but I like things to be balanced and even. So I would say I like a balanced complexity,
yeah.
if that makes sense. What would I call that? I would call that uh even explosion.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a good name. My ice cream flavor would be something very, very disgusting, and my like it tastes like rat poop or something,
Oh,
and my flavor would be called "Don't fucking eat me."
oh, there you go.
That way I could survive in the fridge or freezer for.
Oh wow, so you've taken this into like you are the ice cream. You're
Yeah, kind of.
pioneering.
Okay, second question. This also has nothing to do with you, but I want to hear your opinion. I was watching a documentary about like the pyramids and stuff and how like the Egyptians build these things and stuff. And
Mm.
the truth is, we have theories, but we don't know how these things were built. And I was wondering, what is your theory on this?
Oh, wow. What's my theory on it? You know, I haven't studied this out, so I can't, uh, it's just something that I've heard that I feel like is true. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I believe in what the Bible says and
Yeah.
everything. There's some stuff in the Old Testament. It talks about the presence of giants
Oh,
and like angels coming down and that whole thing, right? We call it a theory, is that those people had something to do with it, like who actually had the physical capacity to shape those things, stack them up, and make them what we know of pyramids today.
and then they like climbed that big fucking tree, and all right, I got it.
It's a
That's
different giant.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that's a good theory. My theory kind of is kind of different, but I
What's
so
yours?
okay, I'll tell you since you asked. So back in like 5,000 years from now, Kendrick, you and I will be dead, and other people they'll be dead. You know, this is like 5,000 years, right? Maybe it's more than 5,000. Who knows? But anyways, in the future, they created these things called time machines, right? I don't know
Hmm.
why I did like Dr. Evil. But so they create these time machines and they're like, "Hey, we're going to go in the past and we're going to build a whole bunch of weird shit. You guys game?" They'll be like, "Yeah, we're game, you know." So they do that. They travel in the time like Back to the Future and they just start building all these things. Then they go back to their timeline and they have like a crystal ball, right? And they're
Hmm.
watching us like having this conversation and they're laughing at us because we're fucking idiots. We don't know how they did this. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
just like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Like it's funny to them.
Right. We're almost like fish in their little like time space continuum aquarium.
Exactly. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it.
I love it. It's like it, but like I want to know if that's what happened before I die. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's because if I'm right about this, I'm like the smartest man in the world and I'm wearing a sports hat.
Right, right. You're wearing a sports hat. And you do things like Dr. Evil. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I'll tell you what, you do have, if anything, you have a story there. You could write it.
Oh, let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's get
right.
you on board. We'll we'll make it, man. We'll make
Right,
this
right,
happen.
right. Yeah.
All right, Kendrick. My last question for you is if you could go in back into one of these time machines and talk to a
Mhm.
younger version of yourself, knowing everything you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, you know what? To bring it back full circle, I would go back. I would go back to the time where I decided to quit basketball. And I would say to myself, like, listen, you're making the right decision, but you're making it for the wrong reasons. And to not be afraid of hard work and adversity because it does pay off in the end.
Wow, that's good advice.
That's what I would say.
I thought for sure you were going to say, ask that fan how long he's been in rehab.
Right, yeah. Are you still there? Like, how can I get you out of here? Yeah, right.
Uh, well, where can the folks at home follow and support you? You got a social media or anything like that?
Yes, at on Instagram at I am Kenric Green. And then on it's I don't know where to call it Twitter X. It's hard to just be like on X. It sounds incomplete.
It
But
also
on
sounds sexual.
right, right, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like stop making me say that, Elon. Yeah, but so Twitter, we'll just call it Twitter. At Kenric JG. So either of those places. Now I'm not the most active person on social, but that is where I am.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be careful because with Instagram and Facebook, that might not be around in a couple months because I got banned for something I didn't do, and I've been like watching the news,
Mhm.
like every single day, like 3,000, 4,000 accounts are like reporting the same issue because it's all AI ran. So like, it's like they're just suspending people like that. So
Oh.
as much as I'm not the biggest Elon Musk fan, I'm thinking Twitter is going to make a comeback. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. That's crazy. That's
yeah. You know what
yeah.
else is crazy, Kendrick? You could still get your tattoo if you ever come to Huntington Beach from Sarah 503-484-6619. If you spend $100, you get 10% off. But she said since you're the Walking Dead, she loves you, you get a free tattoo. If you ever want to come down and do that, it's up to you. If not, I gave it to you.
Well, thank you so much. And it was say her name one more time for me.
Her name was Sarah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
All
I'll
right.
look you up.
All right, Kenric Green. I appreciate you talking to me and good luck with this movie and I hope that it's very successful and makes all your dreams come true so you could do more good work.
Hey, Keith, I appreciate that. And I pray for your success and everything and that you I shouldn't say beat your sister, but that you know,
I
that
would
you
never do that.
yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate that, man. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we'll talk soon and have a great day, pal.
you too.
All right,
Thanks.
guys. All right, guys. That was the episode. Subscribe, rate, review, and we'll see you guys next week on Reza Riffs.